All right, let's jump right into today's deep dive. We're talking AI, crypto, and what's moving in the markets.
Yeah, it's a lot to cover, but it's fascinating how these trends are all connected.
Right, and they're moving so fast. Like, take this headline. The Interoperability Exchange is launching something called AI quantitative trading.
Quantitative trading already uses pretty sophisticated algorithms, but AI.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, how will this impact investors?
Well, think of it this way. AI can process huge amounts of data, way faster than humans, to spot patterns and execute trades. So potentially, that could mean more efficient markets, maybe even better returns.
Sounds promising.
But there's always a but, right?
Of course.
It also raises some concerns like how transparent will these AI systems be? Could we end up with this black box trading where nobody really understands what's driving the decisions?
Yeah, that's a good point. So maybe it's a gold rush, but you got to watch your step for those hidden pitfalls.
Absolutely.
And it's not just finance where we're seeing AI take over. The AI Applied Consortium is expanding its 2025 initiatives.
Oh, yeah. Their goal is to really push AI innovation across every industry you can think of.
So AI isn't just a niche thing anymore. It's becoming like a fundamental part of how everything works.
Yeah, healthcare, transportation, even how we entertain ourselves, it's all changing.
Okay, so let's shift gears for a minute and talk crypto. Reservoir just pulled in a cool $14 million to, quote, dominate crypto token trading.
And they're focusing on building infrastructure for seamless trading across different blockchains.
Okay, so for the average person who's just starting to learn about crypto, what does that even mean?
It's like right now, if you want to trade tokens on different blockchains, it can be a real pain. Imagine trying to use euros in the US, then yen in China. It's not easy.
Makes sense.
Reservoir wants to make it as easy as clicking a button, and that could make crypto a lot more appealing for new investors.
Right. User-friendly is key if you want mass adoption.
Definitely.
Now, for something completely different, Mind and Pepe, this AI project that leans into the whole meme culture, they just raked in over $5 million in pre-sale funding.
Yeah, that's interesting. It combines AI market analysis with, well, the hype of meme coins. It really shows how powerful meme culture is, even in finance.
I mean, is this the future of investing, though?
Who knows? It could be a lasting trend or just a flash in the pan. But it does highlight the potential for AI to show up in really unexpected places.
Yeah, the crypto world is always full of surprises.
That's for sure.
Speaking of surprises, decentralized perpetual exchanges are getting a lot of attention lately. Dapford, for example, is really pushing this idea of never expiring trading positions.
So think about holding a position for as long as you want, no expiration dates.
How would that even change the way people trade?
It could be huge. Traders could make long-term bets and wouldn't have to constantly monitor their positions. But of course, there are risks involved.
Like what?
Well, the market can change drastically over time, so holding on to a position for too long could backfire.
Okay, so more flexibility, but also more responsibility.
Got it.
Now, on a more technical note, we have BEEFtainers working to strengthen Polkadot's beefy bridges.
Yeah, this is all about making blockchain interoperability and security even better.
So basically making different blockchains talk to each other more smoothly and securely.
Exactly. You can think of these beefy bridges like secure tunnels connecting different blockchains. And by making those tunnels more robust, BEEFtainer is making the whole crypto ecosystem stronger and more reliable.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Now, let's step out of the digital world for a second and look at the wider markets. SSA, food service design, plus consulting, they're making headlines because they're now accepting cryptocurrency payments.
Yeah, and that's a big deal because they're the first in their industry to do so.
It really feels like crypto is becoming more mainstream.
Absolutely. It's no longer just this fringe thing that tech enthusiasts talk about. It's becoming part of our daily lives.
So maybe we'll all be paying for our dinner with Bitcoin soon.
Maybe. Who knows?
And speaking of markets, we're seeing reports of growth all over the place. Routers, dust explosion properties testing.
Legal process outsourcing services, automotive ADAS software, cross-domain solutions, levels tools. The list goes on and on.
It's like the whole economic landscape is just buzzing with activity.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out in the long run.
So we've covered AI shaking up finance, crypto making its way into the mainstream, and markets that are just booming.
Yeah.
What I find really interesting is how all of these stories are connected.
It is, isn't it? You know, we talk about these things as if they're separate, but they're all part of this bigger picture. Like, take the growth of AI. That's a direct driver behind these new financial tools we're seeing, like that AI quantitative trading on Imcalibit.
It's like these different sectors are feeding off each other.
Exactly. It's this cycle of innovation. And it's not just a one-way street either. As crypto evolves, especially with improvements in things like interoperability and security, well, that creates new opportunities for AI to shine.
Like, can you give me an example?
Sure. Imagine AI algorithms using blockchain data, which is inherently secure, to assess risk and make smarter trading decisions.
Oh, I see. So it's a two-way street. AI pushes crypto forward, and crypto opens up new doors for AI.
Hmm.
But how does all of this affect the average person who's maybe not a tech expert or a crypto trader?
Well, it's changing the way we live, work, interact with the world. Think back to that example of SSA food service design plus consulting accepting crypto. It might seem small, but it's a sign of how crypto is slowly weaving itself into our everyday transactions.
It makes the future of finance feel a lot more real.
It does, doesn't it? But I get it. All this change can be overwhelming. So how do we make sense of it? I think a key takeaway here is that even though the technology itself can seem really complex, the underlying ideas are actually pretty simple.
Okay, so break it down for me.
AI at its core is about using data to solve problems, make better decisions. Crypto, it's about creating secure and transparent systems, whether it's for transactions or managing data.
So it's not about getting bogged down in the technical details. It's about understanding those big picture concepts.
Exactly. And that's where critical thinking comes in. As all of this stuff keeps evolving, we have to question what we hear, consider different points of view, and think about how these technologies will actually impact us.
It's not just knowing about the tech. It's thinking critically about what it all means.
Precisely. And that brings me to another really important point. We have to stay informed. In a world where we're bombarded with information, it's more important than ever to be picky about our sources and seek out different perspectives.
It's like we all need to become our own personal news curators.
That's a great way to put it. And that's one of the things we're trying to do with this deep dive. We're digging into the information, cutting through the noise, and giving you the context you need.
It's not just about passively listening. It's about engaging with the information, questioning it, and figuring out how it applies to your life.
Exactly. Because knowledge is power, but only if you know how to use it.
Okay, so we've talked about AI changing the game in finance, crypto becoming more mainstream, and all this growth we're seeing in the markets. But let's bring it back down to earth for a second. What does this all mean for you?
You know, throughout this deep dive, we've seen that these trends, they're not just abstract ideas, they're already changing how we live and work. Remember that example of SSA food service design plus consulting accepting crypto payments? That's just a little taste of how crypto is starting to show up in our everyday transactions.
Yeah, it's like a glimpse into the future. And as AI gets even more sophisticated, we're going to see even more innovation in every industry imaginable.
Oh, absolutely. But what about someone who's not a tech expert or a crypto whiz? How can they get ready for this future that's changing so fast?
That's a good question. It can feel pretty overwhelming.
Well, I think the most important thing is to embrace this idea of lifelong learning. The world's not slowing down, so we have to be adaptable and open to new ideas.
So basically, never stop learning.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment, Dive in and explore. These technologies are out there, accessible to anyone with an internet connection. There are tons of resources available online. You can read articles, watch videos, even find interactive platforms where you can learn by doing.
It's amazing how much information is at our fingertips these days.
And as you start exploring these topics, you'll start to see those connections we talked about. You'll understand how it all fits together, and that's how you'll be able to spot opportunities and make smart decisions.
So it's about empowering yourself, really taking control of your future.
Exactly. At the end of the day, that's what this deep dive has been all about, giving you the knowledge and the tools to understand these complex trends and make the most of them.
We've covered a lot of ground today, but it's really just the tip of the iceberg.
It is. There's always more to learn, more to explore.
That's the beauty of it, right? We live in a time of incredible innovation, and the possibilities are endless. So as you go about your day, just pay attention to how technology is shaping the world around you.
Yeah. Ask questions, challenge the status quo, and most importantly, never stop learning. The future is what we make it.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to create the next big breakthrough. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.